Excuse me. I went passing by and I could not stand to tell you that you just look beautiful and you have an amazing eyes and it matches
Sure
with
you've
the
talked to
blonde.
me already.
Me? No,
Yeah.
I've seen you first time. What is your name?
What? Is she not even taking time to look up from whatever she's looking at to talk to you? She really not interested.
Oh yeah, she's not.
And she sniffed this motherfucker out before he even rolled up. Because she never looked up. That means she saw him walking, looked away. She clocked who he was, looked away, and then she went, bro, you've already approached
That's the
him."
good old. Here we go again.
Yeah. And he came up with the, I was passing by, and you were too beautiful for me to walk by. No? Don't work? Give me a kiss.
Um, Me? No, I've seen you first time. What is your name?
McKenna.
McKenna? Danilo, nice to meet you. So, alright, I see you're really busy, so I don't want to bother you anymore. I just wanted to try to make you fall in love with me.
No, I'm good.
You think so?
I'm
You
good.
never know, like, who's your future husband, you know?
Do you know how often dudes come up to me here?
I can say so because you're very beautiful. That might be the reason, right?
I'm good.
You think so? Okay, but where did you get it from? Your smile.
You said I don't want to waste your time, and you're proceeding to wasting time.
Yeah. She rolled her eyes.
Anyways,
Alright, let's do it like this. I'm just gonna get your Instagram just in case.
No, I said no.
Alright. That makes sense.
I don't know if it's because he's ESL. No. Okay, that's a function.
Hey.
That's a command.
that I mean,
Yeah, people say that sometimes.
you know
like,
what? No,
For consent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I get it. No.
it makes sense.
All right.
Because you said no before,
So it
and
makes
I'm
sense.
still here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I said I wouldn't waste your time, and I'm wasting your time. And you're like, no, and I'm like, shit. You know what? Fucking makes sense.
Makes sense, but give me a kiss.
You know what? I could never.
I always tell people,
Huh?
you want to shoot your shot. I will always encourage you to. Okay, but y'all gotta be mindful. If the person's really giving out the energy, they're really not interested. Stop insisting. Listen, in all my travels, I see enough dudes who just don't stop after one no. And then you get to wondering why women get so defensive or why does she have that reaction? You want to know why she's so like yelling almost? Because a bunch of other men have done the same thing where she said no, she just wants to focus and people are interrupting her. And I can imagine it would suck if you don't want to be cooped up in your room while you got exams. You want to go to somewhere nice with some sunlight and then you don't want to be harassed while you're just trying to study. But then what ends up happens is you get annoyed all the time. So you're like, all right, I don't want to be outside anymore. I'm going to just stay inside. Like, that's not a good thing. People, I know a lot of dudes like, yo, why is she tripping? Why is she tripping? Because there's 10 other niggas like this just this week who did the same thing. That's why she's tripping.
And there's nothing like more annoying than I don't want that. Oh, you think so? Yo, shut up, man.
Yeah,
Shut the fuck up, man. You think so? Nah, shut up.
absolutely.
I don't know. I could never. I don't have. Maybe I don't have the balls to do that. Whatever, whatnot. It's just. It feels corny to me or whatever.
What?
But just approaching someone in general and just. I remember even when I was in sales, I felt uncomfortable when the person that was giving the formation.
Yeah.
And the person that was like giving the training was like, okay, a no is never a no. All right. So whenever the person says no, you have to be I always felt uneasy with that sales technique. Hey, and there was one company that I was working for. It was a cell phone company. They were not really about that. You walk in the store, you have to, it's never closed questions, it's always open. What can I do to help you? I'm really just looking.
What
All right. I'm right here.
What's the word though? There's a word for it.
For what?
For that technique.
It's open questions.
No, for like when they say no to keep them going.
I don't know.
Retention.
Hate it.
Yes.
Oh,
Retentions.
yes, it is.
Okay, and retentions was actually even a department we had where if you called an individual
Yeah.
and they said no to you, they
send
would
them to
go to
retention.
retentions and they would call that person back eventually trying to close the sale.
Yeah.
Right? And what he said about a no is not no. I remember my supervisor at one point. I used to, work for what I would pretty much call like almost a scam charity because it was like a charity is a very official company, but they kept a lot of the proceeds as administrative costs. Okay?
Most charities.
All right. I was 17 at the
Red
time.
Cross.
A lot of them operate this way. Okay, that's why I consider them scams. They're not actually called scams. I think they're scams. Now moving past that, when I was working, I was really good at the job. And one thing they taught you was when you were told no, that you would find a way to switch by having a specific line you would use, like, okay, we understand that you may not be comfortable with donating today, but is it possible that we call you back in the week and maybe if you can even reach half of that amount or 1/3?
It's not is it possible, because that's an open question. Like, okay, I understand that you're not comfortable with today. When can we call you? When can we call you back?
Sure.
Right away into the when can you call you? Oh my God!
Sure. You can phrase it how you want, but like the whole idea was to try to create other opportunities. And you're like, okay, well, we understand that you can't reach the same donation goal that you had last. I'm going to use my customers. We understand you can't reach the same donation goal that you had last year. Is there a chance that we can get you right now, maybe at half of that amount or even 1/3? The kids would greatly appreciate your help. We know you've been a big contributor this whole time. And honestly, but that sauce is what you would do.
100%.
And I would have the supervisor actually play the calls for other people to be like, this is how you would do it. So I'm used to that energy.
Yep.
And despite that, I'm not mad at people wanting to go shoot their shot. I understand that. It's when you get into that technique with people in their everyday life that then I start to think it's bad. If someone tells you no, just kind of accept it and keep it pushing. You know? Is it possible that you can turn it around if you keep trying? Absolutely. It is possible with some people. But for mass majority of the time, they just can be like, yo, leave me the fuck alone. I've already said no a couple times.
Well, you just have to hit when they say that. You just have to hit them with the, okay, that makes sense. But maybe there's a chance I could get your number.
Yeah. And I know there's gonna be comments getting mad at the girl. I'm not mad at her at all.
No.
If that's me and I'm getting annoyed multiple times a day by somebody, you don't know what that's like. That's why you can afford to be critical of her.
100%.
But I'd be annoyed too if someone kept harassing me. I know this because when we would call people, they're like, yo, this is the 4th time y'all have called this week. Can you stop fucking calling? That's men and women. And you guys know too, when you guys get called on the phone and it's those unknown numbers, those blocked numbers, don't y'all get annoyed? Y'all hang up that shit right away, right? You guys don't have patience for them. You guys don't entertain them. You'd be like, yo, stop fucking calling me. It's the same energy. It doesn't help that sometimes you'll have goofy ass videos from people where they're like, oh wait, I gotta play one for you guys.
Je trouve que ici les hommes ils abandonnent assez rapidement à une réjection. Ben oui, en fait, si on te rejette...
Oh, tu vas aller
Attends,
sur ce truc-là.
Je ne dis pas qu'il faut forcer les choses, mais...
T'as rien dit. Arrête. Bon, on arrête. On fait comme ça.
Okay.
T'as rien dit. I'm triggered. Why am I triggered? Because it reminds me of one time we were doing this thing where we had a panel discussion. We had this show called The Ethnic Show, where we do stand-up. Then before the stand-up part, we would have like a panel.
There's a panel. Let's go.
As a panel discussion. Yeah, and then that we were talking about, like, I don't even know what this topic was, but it came to a topic where we were talking about, girls meeting guys and everything. And this one girl got up and said, well,
Oh, I know exactly what it is. Because I brought it to the show. Yeah.
This girl said, but sometimes when a girl says no, she means yes. And I almost damn near flipped the table. I was like, no, that's not what we're doing no more. And on top of that show was like 2019, so it was like, right after the 2017 Me Too shit. And then she's like, yo, but when a girl says no, sometimes it means yes. I was like, nah, P. You can't be serious. Okay,
yeah.
We've been through this, and no, now it's your turn.
Yeah.
Okay, you either want this or you don't. And be clear about it.
Let's go.
Une fille, en fait, qui dit non à un rendez-vous, ben c'est peut-être qu'elle te dit non pour maintenant, mais après, tu peux reproposer une deuxième fois, tu comprends?
How are you supposed to read all that? You're supposed to decipher this thing complicated.
Okay.
If you say no, you say no. That's the rule that I would have. If you say no, the next time you want, it's your time to come to me and say, hey, you know what? Remember the time I said no? I'm available now. How about you?
I'll tell you what this is in a second. I'm gonna let this finish.
Moi, ce que je veux dire, mettons, toi,
proposer,
tu viens, tu me demandes, viens, j'ai envie de te sortir en date et tout, et je te dis, malheureusement, je suis pas disponible. Ben, la plupart des gars, ils vont pas reposer, ils vont attendre que la fille revienne vers eux, puis qu'elle vienne avec la proposition de, viens, on se voit.
100%.
Je trouve que ici...
That's a respectful way of doing things.
What she's doing right now, she's this, right? A guy asked her out, okay? And she had someone else she was interested in. Mm-hmm. All right? She said no to him because she was more interested in the other thing. Then that other thing didn't work. She came back around, come to find out he wasn't showing the same signs of interest. Well, why won't you ask a second time? Well, bitch, if you're so interested, why don't you ask? No. Because in her tower, not only did she put this as plan B to go with plan A, not only is she not going to reveal the fact that she had a plan A, but she's also still expecting plan B to still treat her like plan A. That's entitlement. And people say, I've heard women say stuff like, I want a guy to keep chasing. I've heard some people, but just because that kind of messaging is goofy and it's out there, I don't expect you guys to follow that kind of lead. That shit's stupid. It's going to land you in trouble and it's not worth it. And in my experience, if a woman's really interested in you or she's down for you and you attempt to make plans with her and she says no, she will then propose a different day. Or she will make herself available for a different time. If I go up to a girl I like and I'm like, hey, are you free this Saturday? I'd love to take you out. She's like, no, not really. And that's where it ends?
That's where it ends.
Then she's not into you. If a girl reciprocated any interest, she'd be like, but I'm more free next week if you want to make time. Okay, let's figure that out. If she doesn't reply with anything after that, she's not into you, boss. You don't need to keep pushing. Could that somehow turn into something? Maybe. It's a very small percentage. But most of the time, you're just better off packing your shit and leaving. I don't know for the life of me why people want to really go after women who don't seem interested and keep pushing like there aren't other billion people on this planet. But I digress. If you guys want to go around harassing people who are not interested in making their lives miserable and making your own life miserable, go crazy. Anything else?
No.
Canada.
Canada.